Welcome everybody to my newest Let's Play, another hack. This time it is Dragoon X Omega I, a hack of Dragon Warrior 1. For those familiar with Dragon Warrior 1, if you've seen my playthrough, or you've played the game yourself, this game will look very similar. It's basically Dragon Warrior in space. It has a new story, and I'm going to read the story from the README text that accompanies the patch. Once this world of Shurak was devoid of human life, until the great ancestors came down from the heavens to make it their own. For untold centuries, humanity prospered, though the secrets of technology became lost during the ages. War had become non-existent, and the life of the average person was filled with hard work and peace. But as dream must always end, so too it seems innocence and peace must as well. She was beautiful, and she was called the Techno-Goddess. Descending from the heavens just as the great ancestors had, she brought with her the boon of science to a people who had long forgotten such things existed. Plows were replaced with tractors, bows replaced with guns, and a people starved of easy living rapidly came to depend on the gifts of the Techno-Goddess. Seeing that all was good, she left, but not before making a promise to her new children. In 1,000 years I will return to you, to take the master race with me to live in paradise forever and ever, where there is no pain or death, and the ground is plated in silver and gold. Thus she left us, but her legacy of technology had forever changed the course of human history. After 100 years since the coming of the Techno-Goddess, those who lusted for power began to realize what technology could accomplish in their hands, and soon was turned toward the arts of war rather than for the betterment of humanity. All the nations of Shurak started arming themselves with weapons of unbelievable power and might, keeping a shaky peace only because of the threat of annihilation should anyone initiate an act of war. But eventually feelings of invisibility soon turned into outright madness, and soon came the day that all who live today still remember with horror, the day our world almost ended, the ravaging. The world was thrust into a war that left 80% of all life dead on it, and humanity was cast back into a dark age more primitive than before the coming of the Techno-Goddess. Those that survived swore to never repeat their mistake, and the slow rebuilding of civilization began. The dawn of a new era is now upon us. Man has discovered things that have been lost since the time of the ravaging, and things not known even in those days. Nuclear technology, flight, rudimentary space travel, and among other things soon became a thing of everyday life. But on an island in the southern hemisphere of Shurak, Amnethan, excavations of an ancient moon uncovered texts dating back from times just before the ravaging, texts revealing the secrets of technique holding unimagined ramifications on the future of humanity, genetic engineering. Using this new ability, the island nation of Amnethan began to make the ultimate soldiers, people possessing immense physical strength and psychic abilities. The Meta Knights had been born. 2 decades later, Amnethan began to conquer neighboring states with this awesome power. It seemed that the lessons of the ravaging had been forgotten. The ruler of Amnethan, Lord Vin, soon became obsessed with the idea of conquering the whole world of Shurak. Using his army of Meta Knights, he began his campaign of subjugation of the nearby nation Yasvir, using the Meta to slay all they encountered, even innocent men, women, and children. But the Netiwites would no longer stand for the atrocities they were ordered to commit, and they revolted against Lord Vin. They destroyed all of Amnethan's air force, spacecraft, and anything else that could be used for war. At the brink of victory, Lord Vin released a genetically modified virus that, while being harmless to normal people, brought swift and painful death to the Meta Knights. The few that survived this virus were herded together and brought to the Amnethan Keep, where daily public executions of them were held. But just before the last of the Meta was to be executed, doom befell the world. A huge starship came into low orbit around Shurak, spewing out great hordes of beasts that began to destroy entire cities on Amnethan. The only explanation of this came in a garbled transmission from the starship. I am Neverborn, destroyer of worlds. Now it befalls the last of the Meta Knights to save us all. With this young woman rides the hopes of an entire world, and so it begins. So, now that we have the story, let's begin our adventure. Just like in Dragon Warrior 1, the name that we enter will determine our stats, our final stats. I'm not really worried about the type of stats I have. I'm just going to be naming our character Nika, because that is the canon name that she has based on Dragoon X Omega II, which is the hack of Final Fantasy. So you're going to kill me now? Haha, no, your execution has been postponed. What? Yesterday, an alien being calling himself the Neverborn launched a full-scale invasion of Shurak. Our defenses are destroyed, so our last hope is you, matter trash. What makes you think I'll help you after what you've done? One click and I can stop your heart instantly. Yeah, right. Care to test it out? I thought not. If you can destroy the Neverborn, your life will be spared. Take these provisions and leave, now. If you betray Nika, I'll send you to hell like I did your comrades. So we step on top of the treasure chest, we open it up, we get a flare and 120 Arca. There is no chest with a key like in Dragon Warrior though, because, well, there's no door to unlock here, so. Discuss if we know about the Neverborn. We say that we don't, and he tells us about the Neverborn. This guy tells us that Lord Vin has put nanomachines into our body. And they're inhabiting our abilities. We also were brainwashed, so we forgot all our abilities. So yeah, we have nothing, you know, in terms of skills or abilities, magic spells. In this game, it's PSI abilities. That one person, if we tell them that we do know about the Neverborn, that just says, well, take care of this really quickly. Let's talk with all these people, get some idea of what's going on. And for right now, it seems like everything is pretty hopeless. There's some people who've taken refuge in this keep, and the other ones who couldn't get refuge in here, they built a shanty town outside. Almost time to give our prisoner a little solace. Nika, the Metal Knights rebelled for a worthy cause. I wish I could have joined you. I need sleep. Unfortunately, the prisoner who's going to get some solace is similar to the guy in Dragon Warrior who refills your MP for free if you talk with him. So we won't be able to get free MP until much later in the game. We can't abuse that trick that once we get the heal spell, in this game it's the Aura spell, at level 3 to heal our magic, heal our hit points up, and then to come back and get our magic for free. We're going to have to, unfortunately, use the inn a lot in the shanty town outside, so we learned about Dragoon X. He's basically the princess in this game. There's some Gedrin who couldn't find refuge here, built a shanty town. I guess there's nothing left to do but wait. We'll head out to that shanty town. It's basically Brecken area where we're going to get some more information and equipment. I've seen many dark things, even the dead are rising from their grave. Monsters are, their sprites have all changed, but their stats are basically the same as stats in Dragon Warrior. I will point out the enemies and what they are in Dragon Warrior, along with their stats when we go out and fight them. But as you can see, we have no weapons or equipment. Our sprite there, character Nika's sprite, doesn't have anything in her right or left hand. When we end up getting a weapon, we'll have a gun in our right hand, and we'll have a shield on our left hand when we get that. Now, 120 Arca that we got is going to be used to buy our first piece of equipment. Duke August is the only good man in our government. I alone escaped from the battle with the Neverborn. Everyone died, even Duke August. This is the clinic. 6 Arca to heal our magic points and our hit points, or PSI points in this game. Just talking to all the people here, nothing in there. A red disc descended from the starship yesterday. It landed over the eastern mountains. To the south is basically where the end game is, the Techno Temple, the Vestes Temple. These are all going to be dead. Like the Rainbow Bridge, you're going to have to find a bunch of items to create a passageway to get to that temple. But in this case, it's not going to be a Rainbow Bridge. It's going to be a nuclear bomb. So yeah, they basically just made Dragon Warrior in space. So, really neat concept. The world map has somewhat changed a bit, as we're going to find out talking with these people. So, we're going to learn that Garanham, to the northwest of the base game, is basically now to the southwest in this game, and it has a new name, Tours. So, that's going to be our first place, but we definitely need to become much stronger. Fun is basically going to take the place of Ramildar, and it's tucked away behind a cave, and that cave is guarded by a green dragon equivalent, so we won't actually be able to get to Fun to get keys and better equipment until much later in the game. In the base game, you can kind of just get to the copper sword, in this game the laser arm, and basically skip all the way to the wave, to the broadsword, which is the wave beam in this game, get it in Ramildar. But in this game, because you won't be able to reach Fun, which takes the place of Romildar, it'll take a while to get there. So the game is more paced that you pretty much buy all the weapons and equipment. The only one I'm not going to buy is the spark gun, which is basically the bamboo pole, and the cotton clothes, which are basically the clothes in the regular game. I'm going to buy this nanotech glove because it gives 2 defense. Now, I could be cheap and sell it back, because just like the glitch in the base game, once you equip it, that defense will stay in you the entire time. You don't have to keep that nanotech glove on you. So there's no mountain cave to the southwest. Like in the base game, it is to the southeast now, and coal to the northeast is now to the southeast, where kind of where Mildar and the base game is. So yeah, you can see a lot of things shifted around. Unfortunately, we don't have a scorpion's nest in this area to grind in, so grinding is going to be a little bit more, take more time. Plus with having to stop at the inn to heal ourselves up rather than using that exploit trick with the man in the castle. So just going to walk around here. We have these mad spawns. They are basically the equivalent of the red slimes. These Vorzaks are basically Drakies. They're way too tough right now for us, so we're just going to run into them and run away. If we run into them, we're just going to try to grind on mad spawns, which are the red slimes, and spawns, which are the blue slimes, the regular slimes. In terms of levels are the same as in Dragon Warrior, and need a certain amount of experience to get to them. Level 2 is 7 experience. And then we get the spells at the same level too. The only big change is the heal spell is actually cheaper in this game. And heal in the base game it's 4 MP. I guess they're nice and they make it only 2 MP, the aura spell in this game, so that's one nice change. But just like the base game, if you die, well, you lose half of your gold, or your Arca, and you get put back in front of Lord Vin, who's the substitute for the king. This is unfortunately going to make grinding a little bit harder for us now. But basically right now what we want to do is we want to grind to level 3. Once we get to level 3, we'll be able to have the aura spell. We can start taking on the Vorzaks, the Drakies. And then we can keep fighting them until we get to level 4. Once we get level 4, we can head north a little bit further, and we can start fighting the mini-bots, which are the magicians, and the zombies, which are the ghosts in this game. Basically what we want to do is we want to fight these enemies around here until we get to about level 6. At that point you can afford all the equipment here. We're going to end up with the laser arm, which is the copper sword, the carbon armor, which is our next purchase, and then the iron shield. So I said right now our goal is to get 70 Arca to get the carbon armor, then we're going to save up for the iron shield at 90 Arca, and then we work to get the laser arm at 180 Arca. By that point we get all that, we'll be around, like I said, level 6. For now, like I said, we're going to just farm around this shanty town. But once we get to level 3, we can start fighting those Vorzaks, so we'll have enough stats, and we'll have the aura spell. And then once we get the bolt spell, which is the host spell, we'll be able to head up even further north and start running into mini-bots, the magicians, and the zombies, which are the ghosts. So that'll be your basic level grinding. Yeah, no scorpion's nest, like I said earlier, in this game, so no cheesing. But as I said, in Dragon Warrior 1, this game is going to require a lot of grinding. I'll be doing that grinding off screen, but like I just did earlier, I'll be basically telling you where good places to grind the levels that I basically tell you to get to. So I'm just going to farm these guys here. I gotta defeat one more, and that'll get me my first level. Our stats are going to raise, and not too much, but it'll help. Mainly the 7 hit points. Now once we get a level, a good thing to do is always head back to the keep here and talk with Lord Vin, and he will save your game you put your data into the computer base. Instead of the Imperial Scrolls of Honor, instead of being resurrected, you're cloned. So as you saw earlier when I was defeated there earlier. So yeah, we're gonna put our DNA to the computer. Now when we start up, we don't say we don't want to leave now. It lets us go. If we say no, we don't want to continue, but we just get this screen here. So, script of all humanity, a puppet of my enemies. If you killed all my friends, I'll fight, not just for the world, but for justice and vengeance. And I'll see you in the next episode